This video is about how to make raspberry trellises. These ones I made for my mom, and make sure and like and subscribe or ring the bell or whatever it is you guys do. Not really good at that part. Anyways, check this out. For today, we're actually going to build, what are they? Trellises for Grandma's raspberry patch. Anyway, I'll put a list of the stuff we got if they turn out really bad, then this video is really dumb, but they're gonna be kind of awesome, I expect. I do have a plan. So
copper azoles.
Copper azoles, that's the only ones they had is pressure treated. So here's our plan. It's gonna look like that. Pretty good plan, huh? There's a bag of stuff, and then we have another bag of stuff somewhere else. But okay, here's our plan in reality. So we got, these are 8-foot 4x4s. I'm gonna cut 18 inches off of them, and then we're gonna bury the 4x4 18 inches. That's gonna leave 5.5 feet above the ground. And then on that top, we're gonna put the top of the trellis, which is 3 feet, then 18 inch. Then we're gonna run wires from here and here all the way through, here and here all the way through. That way the berry canes can grow up and out. So I'm gonna cut all these and then we'll do the next step. Okay, to save time on cutting, because I love to save time, you go as deep as you can with your saw. You mark this on 3 of the sides, because a regular skill saw and most table saws won't cut that whole depth. If you have a beam saw, it will, and that'd be super easy, but I don't have a beam saw anymore, so you cut it here, roll it over, and cut there, and that just drops right off. Super easy. If you don't know how to cut wood, you probably shouldn't be doing this project. To break down the list, we've got, for our project, we got 9 8-foot 4x4 posts. So these are 8-footers. I've cut 18 inches off of them. This gives us our lower lateral piece. And then I'm gonna cut these into 3-foot pieces for the uppers. So I'll cut these 3-footers, and then we'll do some more measuring and cut these into the posts, and then we'll lag bolt them in with, oh, that's the lag bolts, and then these are all the eyes. We'll get to that point a bit later. Okay, so I changed the plan a little bit. Rather than 3 foot along the top with these, I'm gonna go 32 inches. That way we just use 2 of these 4x4s, and the other one we're gonna build a different thing with. And there's no waste that way, because, you know, hippies and stuff. Okay, so we have our 6 uprights, our 6 upper laterals, 6 lower laterals. Now I'm gonna find center on each of these, and then we're going to dado out to make, we're basically gonna take out this much of each piece, right? So when they're sit together and we lag bolt them together, it'll be still a 4x4. But combined. That may not make sense, but the picture will. Okay, so we've measured our dead center, and with the wood we went 1 3/4 each side of the dead center, and I just ran the saw through a bunch. So this is the fun part, where you just get to break it out. So I'm gonna have CJ do all that. Come on, tough guy. I left that big one there for you. We should make an ASMR video of that. No, not so much? Okay. Now, here, film this real quick. It's recording. Don't do it this way. All right, so there's real blades on a table saw. They're called dado blades, but I just used a skill saw like you saw in the other part of the video, just a bunch of lateral cuts, break it out. Did that on both, well, all three. Our upper lateral right here and our lower lateral right here. So now we're gonna get a hammer and smash those into place, and that's gonna be one. Then we're gonna duplicate that 5 more times, and that's gonna be this part of the project. See how it's bouncing around like that? That's because we're right in the drain.
Yep.
Oh, the top broke off. We left that there so we could put a cap on it. We could still do a cap. We'll just save that piece and screw it in. That one goes right there. But the funny part is that's in the low point. That's hitting and that's hitting, and CJ's still pounding on it.
Hitting on that one.
So funny. Here's step 1, 2, 3, and 4. I guess. For these, to save time, we laid them out, had CJ stand on them while I did all the cuts. Now he's just cleaning it up with a hammer to make it look really fancy. Got a chisel, we'll clean out the chunks. Here you go, kiddo. And then we'll start putting them together. One thing we did, we pre-drilled for the lag bolts to go through. So the lags will go through these pieces into the post and they'll hold it. So we've got lags and washers. I'll put the first one together while CJ's cleaning those up. So I've got my nephew's ridiculous cordless DeWalt here with the lags. Just like that. Super easy. That will hold forever. This one we didn't quite get sunk down all the way, but that's fine. It will work. Now, when CJ's done with those, we'll finish. You're not building a piano, just so you know.
Oh, I am now.
Uh-huh. Okay, here's 3 of the, I guess you'd call them trellises. Shoot, I don't even know, but there's my sister cleaning up. We're gonna move this rock over to where the tarps are. And I've got 3 sitting in holes. Haven't lined them up and filled them in yet, but this one's got a bunch of rock under it, so I'm gonna have to dig that deeper to get it down in there. I'll keep digging for these other 3, maybe tomorrow morning finish that one when it's not hot out. But that's the look, and then we gotta run all the wires. Pretty awesome. Okay, here's the raspberry patch looking towards the west. I've just got 3 of the holes dug and they're sitting in there. Middle one's low, this one's high. I'm gonna dig these 3 in and then we'll run some strings to get them all somewhat the right height. It's a raspberry patch, doesn't have to be perfect, but we do want it to look good. All right, CJ finally showed up. It's nice to have some help. Slacker. So we set the far end one and this close one. Then we ran this string on the bottom inside edge so that we can get this middle one lined up. So yeah, it just needs to be close. Doesn't have to be perfect, but right there's where we want it. Super easy. Now we can set this post. Okay, so at this point we're not going to use the level. We use the level on the outer end ones. This middle one we're just doing a visual lineup. So right there's where we want it set. So to set these, we're getting them level, and then we've got this digging bar. Just pound on one side, then you pound it in on the other side. And of course you want to keep it square with your rows. Then you do the outer sides. Then you take a shovel full of gravel and do a layer, pound that in, and then you finish it off with a bunch more dirt. It's awesome. Mom and my sister are teasing me because it takes me forever to do anything because filming. So there's a shovel full of gravel. All right, go ahead and smash it in there, kiddo.
That's what she said. That was a good one. You didn't even say anything about it.
I can't, it's on the YouTube. But I'll leave it. Oops. So again, this middle one you can verify with the level if you want, or you can do it line of sight from one end looking through to the other. This looks good. So now at that point, he's got all that gravel smashed in there. I'm gonna throw the rest of the dirt in there. Okay, so I've mounted the dirt up, a bunch of extra dirt around the base, and then when CJ pounds it all in, that'll make his thing rock solid. We'll just watch him do that. Go ahead, kid.
See, he wears the gloves for show. This is where the magic happens in the show. Right here.
Is it?
Yeah.
Throw in some comments. Let's see how that works out. Dang it, it's probably true. Grandma's cheering him on.
See, even Grandma knows.
Someone has to cheer him on. Because I'm just mean. Alright. So, there is one side of the post set. Now we're going to drill holes or set some eyes. I'll show you that's coming up next in the video. Okay, so we've got all 6 of these set. CJ's drilling with a 1/2 inch bit all the way through the 8 holes on this side. So on this side, we're gonna have these long bolts that come through with a washer like this. So they're adjustable to get the tension right. And then on the middle ones, we're just gonna have the big holes to have the wires go through. And then on the far side, we're gonna have anchors, which are just eyes. They're in the wheelie deal over there with Grandma. So I'll grab those in a second and film those. I don't know what it's called.
Side by side.
The wheelie deal. Whatever.
Drop my nut.
It's about time. Okay, CJ's drilling the through holes over there. These ones, we've got the, you can turn these posts either way, 180 degrees. We've got the post on this side. That way when the cables are pulling, they're pulling against the post. There's no stress on those lags. We did just opposite at the far end. The middle post, the wire will just go through the hole. So now I'm gonna set all these, the adjustable eyes, on these posts. Then when he's done drilling, we'll set the fixed eyes and then run the wire. So these are 8-inch long, 3/8 inch eye bolts. That gives us that adjustment. Got a washer over here. And then CJ's getting ready to set these other eye anchors. We'll check those out. So down here, these are like 1/8 inch pre-drilled that he did. And then these are 5/16 by 4 inch eye lag bolts. So those just start in nice and easy. I'm using a tent stake to spin it. CJ's using another eye bolt, which does work, I suppose.
Work with what you got.
This way's a lot easier. I won't tell him that though.
No, I know that's easy. It's the whole leverage thing.
And we're just taking them in to get rid of the thread to that point.
Oh, I thought that thing was a diesel.
So this is the best wire we could find. Galvanized electric fence wire, 14 gauge. We got a 1/2 mile's worth. We don't quite need it, but it was the best deal.
Yeah.
So for this end, these are the set eye anchors. CJ pulled it pretty tight by hand and then just twisting that electric fence wire or whatever kind of galvanized wire you've got. Then we have this nice little wire to support the bottom of the stalks. It just goes through these holes, loose. And then if they get saggy on this end, you can pull and tighten with the 1/2 inch nut. Move your fingers so they can see the nut while you spin it, kid. There we go. See how nice that is? And then you have your nice little wire all the way down. So you've got 2 on the bottom and 2 on the top. As they grow up, the stalks are gonna kind of grow up and out that way. That way you can get in and pick the berries. That makes a happy grandma. Here's our spool. Run this down. It's all loose and floppy. Goes through the center posts. CJ's tightening it up here. Got this flush so we have the maximum amount of adjustment when we need. So nice.
What did my sweet brain thinking of sweet, awesome ideas on how to do this?
Here, pull this wire. Beef.
These things suck.
So that tension that pulls on these is why you want this solid piece on the outside and the post on the inside. So it's pulling against the post, not the lags. Anyways,